Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yo, what up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janity here in studio, finally, for AfterBuzz TV's East Los High After Show. Woo! I am joined in studio by Miss Courtney Stewart.
What's up, what's up?
Sir Julian Jarrett.
What's going on?
I wrote it differently.
That was a valiant effort. Valiant effort.
Say it so everyone at home.
Julian Dujarric.
Dujarric, sorry.
I was waiting though.
I'm captivated because our engineer Alexis has put the music video. I didn't know there was an actual music video to the theme song of East Los.
And now we do.
And it's very cute. I'm into it. Shout out Sanchia.
Cross eyes and sticking out her tongue.
Screwed your whole name up too. That's fine. All right, so we had to do an East Los High. I've been talking about doing it for like a year probably now. We had actually in studio Tiffany. I interviewed Tiffany.
Oh, really?
She was sweet girl.
Yes.
It was hard for me to kind of take her away from the character. But very sweet girl. But we have to talk about this show.
Yes.
The show came out on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, scripted original, and it takes place in East Los. I watched the first episode and was just sucked into it. I was like, what is this show? At first, I was kind of like a little iffy about some of the acting choices, some of the writing, and then as it got on, I just cannot take myself away from it. This is literally an English-Spanish soap opera.
Love it. Every minute of it.
Everything you just said, I agree with. I will say it took me probably like 2 or 3 episodes of season 1 to really start to like appreciate the campiness of it and like appreciate it for being something good.
Jesse was a hard character for me to get through.
I can only imagine why. But I like it. I dig this show. It is like a English Spanish soap opera. It's like bringing me back to like times with my abuela when we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're starting with season 3, but there were obviously, it's weird. It was like season 1 had 22 episodes.
Yes.
And I mean, just from that first scene of the prom queen going out and screwing the guy
in the car,
catching the HIV, and then it was just like,
kids doing these days.
But I'm thankful that there's a show that actually touches on these.
Right.
And there are moments in the show where it gets a little PSA for me.
Okay,
but
I buy that.
In a world where it's tons of reality, trash television, and putting people who people consider role models on TV and there's no discussion about it, I'm excited that some sort of show is having conversations.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like people are much more, or at least producers are much more willing to go and explore those darker themes, which I'm excited about as a viewer and a fan. So I'm excited to continue discussing it within the context of this show, because I think it's great.
They aren't afraid to go anywhere, because we've seen, just in those 2 seasons alone, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Now, last season, I was really upset and irritated because they just done stopped the episode. It was like mid-season.
We were like 13 episodes? What? Where are the rest of them? Daddy came back? What? And then we were just left hanging.
Pedro and like, what's going on?
What's happening?
So we start the season 3 with La Virgin de East Los. Which is the Virgin of East Los. Just kidding, sorry.
Thanks for clarifying.
So where we see this is Pedro proposes
Right.
to Ceci.
Ceci, damn.
And she's in her head like, well, he gonna beat me. And then he's sitting there like, will you marry me? And all the girls, no one knows about what she's really going through. Girl, I've been there, not in that type of situation, but when you are in a situation, you know the tea, but everyone else don't, but they're rooting for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not uncommon in those kinds of situations. Domestic violence is something obviously that is not really talked about, and because it's I feel like it's such a taboo thing. And so yeah, it's just more evidence of the fact that this show is exploring themes that a lot of other shows don't like shy away from.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because the idea that she is so young, she has a child. She's with this man who can give, and I mean the girls, these other children, and she is herself still pretty much a child.
Yeah,
She's
right.
what, 18, 19 years old, just graduated, like, and her need to sort of stay with him and like understanding how people are, or at least looking at how people in that situation would be trying to work through it, and why she would be like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
I can't imagine having a kid at 17. I was such an idiot. I still am. I can't feed myself, much
I was
less
just
another
gonna
human
say
being.
it's hard enough to make sure I eat. I have a kid that at 17 years old, like you barely have a job. Your job is like temporary based on whether or not these girls win or lose, and so it's hard to watch. But I mean,
especially
I think
when the man's saying that you ain't never gonna be nothing, you're never gonna get a better situation, you slut. All these just
and she doesn't have any family. She doesn't have anybody really to turn to.
No.
So it's rough.
oh sassy,
Sassy, we be fighting.
Okay.
We be hoping for you, girl.
Yeah, I believe. So all right, we find out that the bomb squad's going to finals.
Yes.
We also find out that Camilo was raped by her stepfather.
Her stepfather. Yeah.
Pretty much.
She's doing the whole little lesbian situation. She's kind of touching that world, but
being
not really
sexually
feeling fully
fluid.
comfortable in it.
She's
with
exploring her
Jocelyn.
full sexuality.
Jocelyn's really like, girl, no,
You're
you
gay.
want this.
You want to be with me. And she's like, actually, I don't know.
Which, as you can imagine, I'm not sure when. I guess she was raped when she was younger, much
Yes,
younger. So
much younger.
They're going to get ice cream.
I can right. That was that's what he would say to her. I can understand why she's a little reluctant to kind of explore that side of her, because it's such a vulnerable place to be that honest about your sexuality and to be that honest about your feelings when you have had such a sordid history. Obviously not through your own fault. I'm not saying that, but when there is such a dark history, sexual history with obviously this abuse that happened in her childhood. So I get it. I'm excited to see more of it.
And it's interesting that she didn't tell Nick in that situation where he was like
Yeah.
rubbing the
I
Victoria's
know.
Secret on him.
But it's very soap opera to not. Like, it's like, it's so obvious, it's right there. Like, just say, hey, look, this is what I'm going through. But it wouldn't be the soap opera.
I mean, it's not even soap opera. I kind of think that's real life. I mean, when he said, he was like, we haven't had sex in weeks. You don't want to be with me? It's like sex and relationship. You guys are dating. So just 'cause if she's there every day, but you guys aren't having sex, it doesn't mean she doesn't want to be with you.
No.
But it's these insecurities and feelings and...
But it also made me think when he said, and maybe I'm just an old lady, but when he said, we haven't had sex in weeks, are you still into me? I was like, oh my God, are you guys like 30 and married? Like, what are you talking about? If you are having sex, you get it in like on like maybe once a month when you can like get the house to yourself. Like, what do you mean?
High school.
Wait, you're in high school and you live with your grandparents and your sister. Like,
What kind of responsibilities that you have that you don't have time for sex?
that you regularly, y'all got a regular sex schedule, like weekly, to be getting it in. Like, how did you, whatever. Anyway, so I found out.
See, I lived with my grandmother, so I could never have none of that in my house.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
Cut right
the door's open, or if they weren't, pop her head right out.
You certainly weren't all up in the bedroom with the door closed, chatting it
no.
out, hanging
Downstairs
out.
kitchen table,
No.
might be able to play some Sega over in the living room.
Y'all better have that TV on. Turn the
Please
TV down so
stop
we can
saying
hear what's going on down there.
Put my age up.
No,
there.
you would just let the computer take over. You're funny. Put the computer, like the computer would take over in Sega, and then like just it would sound as if you're playing video games, but you're playing a different kind of game.
But you're doing dirty
My grandma
things.
was too nosy.
I would never with somebody in the house ever. I would have been like scared to death. No.
It took a while before people of the same opposite sex could come in my house.
I don't think that ever became a rule. Like, nobody of the opposite sex was ever allowed in my house.
I could never really invite anyone, like same or opposite. Like, there's no.
Exactly.
My mom was like, no, like I don't want these kids messing
This
up my
house
house.
is a mess,
Yeah, exactly. We're messing it up even further.
And they didn't want to be responsible if something like happened to the kids. So
Yeah.
my mom would be like, no, they can't. But can I go over there, Mom? No.
No.
So I just didn't get to do anything. Whatever. We're not talking about me. East Los back.
So
We're relating to the characters.
We're related. Yeah.
Gina and the stepdad, she got excited because stepdad said he's going to buy her a new car. Camilo's pissed. We find out he's going to move back to LA and he wants another chance.
I mean, another chance to do some dirty
Corrupt
deeds.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
because then Camila finally tells Gina that she was raped, and interesting reaction of Gina kind of putting the blame on her,
Yeah.
like, why did you have to do this? Why do you have to
Yeah.
be like that? Saying that she's sick.
Right. Well,
Honest emotion on both girls' parts. I kind of can understand Gina not understanding that or not wanting to believe it, or
Yeah.
maybe even have seen something when she was younger and kind of just suppressing that. It'll be interesting to see if Gina experienced anything like that as well.
I think the reaction was interesting in that it was so explosive. I thought it would be a little more subtle than that. Like if she had experienced, I mean, we're all speculating. I mean, we don't know, but if her younger sister had experienced something like that or witnessed it,
Right.
you would think there'd be some sort of trepidation in even responding at all. Like I don't know. It seemed
was
like
so instant,
it's
angry.
like right away. Like no, he could never do that. And I don't know if that's a typical reaction. I mean, everybody reacts differently to trauma, but I thought that was strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think maybe it kind of made a little bit of sense just in the event, like, she's the one that's getting to be the little girl, and like daddy's been gone all this time, and
right.
she's like happy to have daddy back and like daddy's little
Okay.
girl, and why are you trying to mess that up? And
Yeah.
Camila, because of what has happened to her, has been such a difficult person for years, I'm sure,
Okay.
and like giving everybody a hard time. So I kind of can see how she would be really hostile about it. Like, how could you dare say that about my dad? Because in her mind, she's thinking, yay,
Yeah.
dad's here, dad's back. Why would you attack him?
Right.
When you're so full of yourself and you're constantly doing horrible things, and that's probably why this happened to you anyway. But I mean, after actually thinking about it and processing it, she should come full circle.
Especially given, and just to your point, now that you said that, especially given the fact that he is like his narrative now is to like be this recovering. Is it alcoholic or drugs?
I would guess both.
I guess both. It's
think
a
it was
recovering
alcoholic.
addict.
Just no good all around.
But the point is, he's in her mind trying to make amends for what she thought was the only problem, which was the addiction.
Right.
But really, obviously, there's another underlying problem that
she was
has
also-
it's not even on her radar.
they were also obviously a little bit aware that there was some physical abuse going on, because Gina, I think,
Right.
says, oh, what, you're mad because he hit you? And
Yeah.
he's trying to not do that anymore. So it's almost like she's like, why are you at like another thing? You're adding another thing that we
Yeah.
have to get over when we are already like trying to get past this. So
Right.
I can kind of see an immature reaction, I guess.
It doesn't help him that he has a creeper van.
Not at all.
No, I thought that too. I'm like, really? All the vehicles in LA that you could have rented. I'm talking like the production. Like you had to pick a white
He had to
van.
spray painted
I
matte
like
black.
that.
Yeah, or was it black? Yeah, exactly. Like, it had to be matte black.
Shady.
Taking the girls to pick up ice
Ice
cream.
cream,
I was
yeah.
just like, what is happening here right now?
Shady.
Some vanilla ice cream.
Way to be very literal production.
Right.
Like very literal.
Camilo confronts him and says, basically, what are you going to take Gina to go get ice cream? He pulls away.
Which I was like,
Upset with
no, don't do it. Don't take Gina too.
Yeah, I'm a little
upset.
nervous for Gina.
Well, then he goes. That was really creepy and just seedy. His reaction was,
you
"Are you
wanna-
jealous?" Or like,
Yeah.
I was like,
What did he say? I'll give you a ride too, or something like.
something to that effect. But it was just really like,
Like,
blah.
okay, boo, you obviously aren't trying to do right by nobody.
Yeah.
No more.
Right.
Baby, I'm gonna do it right. All right. Another scene we get with Camila is
Let's throw back to 3LW. I
Let's
love it.
throw it in there. Another scene we got with Camila was she's making out with Jocelyn.
Hey.
It just came from that party.
Jocelyn is very needy though.
She is
Real
really
needy. Like really needy.
But that's such a lesbian.
But I mean, I guess she's like.
It is. I have so many lesbian friends. It's such a lesbian thing. It's like, she touched my hand. We're dating. We made out last week. We're married. I don't give a fuck if she's fucking my brother or not. Excuse my language, but.
Is that true? I don't. I mean, I don't. have any
Well,
lesbian
from
friends,
my
I don't know.
experience
Okay.
with lesbians, they will. I mean, it's like.
It's an emotional
Didn't y'all
attachment.
just start talking to each other? That I know.
Didn't I just introduce
She's
you?
moving in 3 weeks.
I
That's
guess
funny.
in her defense, it is her best friend whom she has been in love with for quite some time. So every moment.
So at this point, they're married, is what you're saying. Okay.
she's probably beyond that married point. They're
Right.
like celebrating their silver anniversary and shit.
But like,
We've been together for life.
and then the anger, she keeps getting angry. Nick's lying to his grandparents, talking about, like the TV, I'm working in the music industry.
Oh, Nick.
And you're not, you're selling drugs.
Oh, Nick.
Well, like, he's
Trafficking.
Trafficking. Yeah.
Let's not say he's selling them. So he's trafficking drugs and whatnot. Jocelyn's. I can't tell if she's irritated at him for that or irritated with him because of Camila.
I'm sure it's both. I think it's both.
What do you think weighs heavier?
Camila.
Yeah.
Probably Camille.
She's 17 and she's in love.
It's probably Camille.
All right.
Because I'm sure she's watching her favorite shows on that TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably Camille.
Yeah. And the money doesn't hurt.
I would. I didn't traffic
Until the SWAT team
Right.
comes in.
Like, if you get in trouble, that's all I
That's
need.
all on you. I didn't know anything
As
about
long
this.
as I don't get shot, I'm good.
Right.
So Ceci and Pedro's marriage
Oh, God.
or proposal.
Possession.
Let it go.
He said possession. Yeah, there you go. Their wedding, Ceci's wedding dress shopping.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be really excited if it was a hot dress and not like Grammys.
What do
Like
you... Come on.
it was
She was
like
at
had
what-
a turtleneck on it,
She was at the quinceanera shop trying to find a wedding dress, you know. Gotta do what you gotta do.
but it had to be covered up, and she had to
Yes,
send
no
it to
boobies.
Pedro.
That's a lot to cover up, though. I mean,
I mean...
Los Angeles is hot.
Yes.
And it's a wedding dress.
And it's a
like,
wedding dress. Yeah, you're supposed to look as beautiful as you possibly
it's
can
a
on your
new
wedding.
thing that, like, this whole strapless thing and all of that, a lot of, you know, regular folks, non-possessive crazy mofos like Pedro, like, that are just normal people still think it's inappropriate, especially if you're getting married in a church. Perhaps maybe getting married in a Catholic church, like that.
But you
covering your
also-
shoulders and like covering up a little bit. Granted, that dress was ugly. I'm
And
not trying to
there
like
was a
fight
lot.
for the
Okay,
dress.
you're also supposed to
But-
only wear white if you're a virgin.
Well,
and that ship
exactly.
has sailed. So it's like,
I'm just saying.
really? You're upset
like,
that she's showing her shoulder? Oh, blasphemy!
Pedro,
a little leg.
Well, to
Yeah,
him,
I'm gonna show a little
she
elbow,
is
baby.
His little virgin.
Well, he was not having. Well, he's not having it. So she sent him the text. Apparently, it's a go for that
Go
dress.
for the creepy dress. I mean,
For
the
the
other one
burqa.
wasn't that great either. So I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
So Jacob runs up. We got another scene where Jacob runs up to her in school. Now Ceci and Jacob have been best friends
Homies.
for
For a while.
2 seasons.
I know, but he can't come.
Did
Like-
anyone notice? Just speaking of Jacob, did anyone notice what in the scene where Pedro and Jacob, like, are
At the
Yeah,
Taqueria.
Taqueria.
yeah, they look alike.
A little bit.
A little bit.
They resemble.
Biggie and Shorty.
So she has a type.
Jacob is cuter.
Yeah, I think Jacob's way cuter.
Well, Jacob.
But he
is-
also doesn't hit people,
Right,
so I
that's
don't
what I
know
was
if
gonna
that's
say,
like
like,
what's
Jacob-
rubbing off
Yeah.
you with
But I
Pedro.
could separate that. I could separate that in terms of attractiveness. If
He's
Pedro
so
was, like,
hot,
super
even though he like
hot.
beats
He
me.
beats
like,
her, but he's
just
really hot.
So hot, like his six pack is just.
cute. But Jacob has a heavier brow, which works
I got this
for me.
black eye because I ran into his six pack. That's all that happened.
Right. He was just working out.
He was just working out and he dropped the dumbbell on my face.
Yeah.
And it's just they built. I want to keep because I follow him on Instagram. Gabe is with it. They take Jacob and they basically. I like the character that they're building. He's the guy next door.
Yeah.
Everyone can
Yes.
relate to him. He's gonna,
Help
be there
Dad's
for his friend.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
Come back, and it's gonna be great.
Even if his girl moves away, he's gonna stay here and support his father and family and make money for the family. And
Right.
Yes. Stay in the
Stand-up
neighborhood.
guy.
Stay in the neighborhood.
He wants his invite. Ceci's dodging him like crazy. And then we get this scene where Ceci goes to the taqueria with Pedro. Well, not with him.
She just went to like pick it up, and he found her like that quick.
Well,
or
no,
was
because
he in the
remember,
car?
she was
Oh,
bomb
at dance
squad,
class, yes.
and she said, "I'll meet you in 30 minutes."
"Oh, so
at
maybe
the
he was
restaurant.
meeting her there." Okay, got it.
Because he
I
ain't
was
gonna
like,
have her
"Dang,
go
was he
pick up food
creeping?"
from that restaurant.
And I know
knowing
she
he
ain't got
worked
no
it.
car, so I was like, "Wait, how? Wait." Oh,
Right.
Okay.
I thought it was nice. The girls got her a sweater that said Coach
It
on
was
it.
cute.
They really are supportive, a nice
They're
support system for
family.
her.
They're about to be her bridesmaids.
Yeah, that's like
How did that happen?
because who else
She
she
ain't
got?
Who
got
was she gonna? Yeah, who else was she gonna ask to be her
How did she
bridesmaid?
end up graduating with no friends? Really?
They all moved.
Went on
Except,
about their way.
She has
Jacob.
no distractions. She can hit the books.
You know.
I don't know.
So Ceci tells Jacob that he can't come. Pedro shows up talking about doves and eternal life. No, baby, they're not pigeons. They're doves. They represent eternal life.
I love that she was like, "We got pigeons and everything." I was like,
The pigeons.
that was amazing.
And Jacob says, "Don't worry about it, because Maya wants me to go on this road trip, which is probably bullshit anyways."
Yeah.
And he just wanted to come up and say something. And Jacob gives the food for free.
Can't do that.
Thank God there wasn't a broom around there or something, because if I was Jacob, I would be like, psh,
Smacked him.
Because Pedro's like, laughs at him for giving the food. Oh, of course. He says, throws the money down, says, well, there's your tip.
I want to know what he tipped him. Did they? Was there a shot of the?
They didn't show the exact.
I want to know what he tipped him because he looked at him like, really? Like, well, obviously the tip in general.
It was all shade.
It's all shade, but like, I'm just curious. Like, what was the
I felt like it was $40. He looks like the type of guy that like. He works hard so he can just have a lot of money. Yeah.
And show his power.
Right.
Especially to people that don't necessarily have access to that kind of.
Even
though it wouldn't be that much.
I think he probably paid the amount of the tacos.
Yeah, like I think I had a feeling it was like $40.
$40 for some tacos at a taqueria.
I mean, they got a pretty big bag, right?
Yeah,
well, no, I know that. No, I know it'd be like $12.
Like, what taqueria?
But I don't feel like Pedro's the type of guy to throw down $12 as a tip. No. Like if he gonna shade you, he gonna.
It's gonna be an overcast. It's gonna shade the people around you. It's yeah.
I got you.
Okay. I don't know, but we'll ask the cast when they come in. Yeah. Because that is an interesting.
What bill did you have in your hand, Pedro?
How much did he tip? So Ceci goes to practice. Well, as she's gonna get dropped off to practice.
She's getting to practice.
Pedro drops her off, and she walks inside. It's dark inside, and all of a sudden, the turn up got
shoot, baby.
Right. I was like, all right, you guys got that song cleared.
Yes. Hey, do what you
there was
do.
a lot going on, as does happen in a bachelorette and bachelor parties and stuff like that. So yeah.
And the guys are cute.
Yeah, they got a whole new cast of dudes stepping in for the Bomb Squad.
Yeah.
Bomb Squad dancing looks a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys, I would question their age.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, 35-year-olds playing 16-year-old.
It happens.
Some of them.
There's one of them that I'm just.
I think we're talking about the same one.
I actually think he's like J-Lo's dancer or something like that.
Yeah. He's old. Well, he's not. I mean, 35 is not old.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying,
but
for a high school,
to play high school. Yeah.
I was like, so on the Bomb Squad, is it like day high school kids and then like the GED kids can come in and like join the dance team together? I didn't know, you know what I mean? Because I was just like, how old is he really trying to play?
Night school.
That night
on the
school
Bomb Squad too.
That's funny.
But they did a good job.
They did.
They did some body rolls, and we saw some abdominals.
I mean, they were contorting their bodies in ways that I can't even imagine mine.
Yeah.
And I've seen clips of future dances from this season, and it looks
pretty nice.
It's all good.
Stepped it up because I hope she's not watching, girl, but that girl Jessie, like, I could not when she was a part of the Bomb Squad. It was just like, girl, I don't know what your lane is, but it's not this one. You know?
I mean...
But, get rid of the extra weight.
Oh.
Trim the fat.
Trim the fat and get some shirtless boys. That's what works, right? Yeah. All right, so... Surprise bachelorette party. Then we get that Camila and Jocelyn flirting scene in the bathroom, and she throws out, I want you to come out. I'm like, girl...
I mean, yeah. I mean, she don't even know what she is right now.
Right.
Like what do you mean come out? Myself? Come out what? She's like, I'm playing in both ponds and they're both fun. So I don't have anything to come out really for yet because she don't know what the hell she is. She's just happy doing what she's doing.
Right. Like, Jocelyn remind me of Raven Simone sometimes. I mean,
oh, dang.
How so?
Okay, I kind of can see that a little bit.
Their aggressiveness in delivering a serious topic, but it's in a soft way. I don't know really how to explain it, but I could just totally see them sitting down with each other and having their own type of smart intellectual conversation
about not being in boxes.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Except you're trying to make Camila be in a box.
Right.
I get you. Yeah.
Check that.
Get out of the box by getting in the box.
Pedro sees the party.
Watching
and he is not happy. Angry. I think he did more than see the party. He was seething, he was teething. He was not happy.
Foaming at the
mouth is a good one, yeah.
And I am proud of him that he did not walk up in that.
No, I wish he had walked up in there so a group of people can just beat him down for yelling at her and trying to drag her out. That's why he didn't do it. He's actually a coward.
He's a coward. He waited until she got home.
Yeah.
And he was, as we see, Ceci comes home, which she came home with her daughter.
She had to pick the baby up.
Okay, that's what it was. I was like,
she wasn't at the party.
I was like,
she was at somebody's being babysat until the end of the night, and she went and picked up her baby.
Which is interesting that she didn't
leave. Go ahead. I think you're going to say what I'm.
It was also interesting that she never left him with Pedro.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, well she.
Well, I guess not. Yeah.
She is crazy. It's interesting. A lot of women, like, as much as like they can take attack themselves. Once the kid, like, they will attempt not to expose the kid to it, even though being there is still exposure,
right.
At least in their minds in some way. As long as I'm not specifically putting my child in the situation, it's different if he's hitting me. If he hits my kid, that's something else.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sad, but it is.
It's a way. It's like a compartmentalization almost. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I
don't know. I've never experienced that, so I can't speak to it. But
get the scene. She walks in. She's like, oh, I'm gonna put Izzy to bed.
Stella, go to bed.
Wakes up. Well, she walks back out. He's sitting there shaking, tapping his hand, and just.
Hey girl, how was it?
yeah, multiple times.
Right.
Like beat the
Over the
table,
the chairs fell on her. I was
banged
like,
her head against the refrigerator.
in the kitchen.
Or was it the counter? I don't know.
It was the refrigerator.
It was
He
the
smashed her
refrigerator.
into the refrigerator. Yeah.
That was
That
nuts.
was hard to watch.
Yeah,
Intense.
that took me a second
It
to
was
kind of like
intense.
process. That was
And that's
intense.
the thing about this show is you can have those campy moments, but then
all of a sudden
when they go there, they go
Yeah.
there, and that has been consistent from
Yeah.
season 1
Yeah.
to season 3.
It almost reminds, and I don't mean to compare the two because they're very different. I think this one's a little more real. It almost reminds me of like the later seasons of Degrassi, when
Yep.
they started to really push the envelope, where Degrassi, for all intents and purposes, is a camp show. I mean, and all of a sudden they would do like these heightened narratives that just like take you to another level, and you're like, what just happened? So
snap.
this is definitely in line with that. Like, there are parallels to that.
Yeah, they have a good
Yeah.
good mix of campy,
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
And for this case, we have Pedro, as he's beating her, says, no one will take care of you like me. You aren't worth anything. No one has money. I have money. I support you. You're never going to be able to support yourself. Like, just...
It's like a mental abuse.
Oh,
you
my
know?
gosh. And it's
That
just...
works.
I don't like that I'm saying it like this, but I love that they're putting this in a show. I love that,
Yeah.
and like keeping it to that, and not cutting out scenes or, just making it one slap and this
Yeah.
dramatic stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're really going in and letting you see, like, no, this ish happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gradual.
Two high schoolers.
Right,
Yeah.
it's a gradual
It is.
progression. You don't just wake up one day if you're an abuser and slap your significant other. It starts with a mental abuse. It starts with like a condescending tone, and it starts very subtle, and then it progresses gradually. And
One time it's just a push.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not anything serious.
or even less than that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a
A
grab on
grab,
the wrist or
yeah.
something that seems like innocuous on the surface, and then it progresses into more than that. You know?
She pulls a knife, which I was like, girl, you ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
How you
I
gonna
was like,
warn your brother?
That's way more dangerous for you than it is
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, I was not happy about that.
He didn't care that she pulled a knife. He calls her a slut, and the screen goes black.
As she punches.
And on that note, let's head to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Camila, do we think she's going to get herself a taco at the end of the season, or do we think she's
herself
gonna
a
get
taco.
herself a dirty dog?
Dirty dog. Taco a burrito.
I can't participate.
By the end of the season?
End of the season.
I think eventually she'll. I mean, hasn't she already had the taco?
She said,
Wait, meaning like, where do we see her
is she
kind of
going
landing?
to land on
Oh,
one?
is
she gonna
or
invest in a
She's gonna have
taco
an
truck or a
is she
dirty
gonna have an
dog?
exclusive
It's a
taco
taco
diet? Is what you're
diet.
saying? Yeah, why not? Sure.
So you see that? You see that
it's already
relationship
sort of
growing?
it's already sort of happening between between her and her boyfriend, right? That there's a
divide.
They're kind of
divide.
dividing.
So yeah, I don't see
He
why
was
not.
real irritated when he seen that.
I would be too.
Yeah, I would be-
That's your sister. I don't think she's going to be on any particular diet. I think that she will be by taco doggedness Because
You're
sometimes
gonna take her taco, put the hot dog
hot
in
dog
it.
on it, and when you want a hot dog, you have it. When you want a taco, you
A
have
hot dog
that.
taco.
And I'm tired of
Wow.
Jocelyn trying to make her choose.
Yeah, it's really like.
It's a hot,
I mean, I'm fine with Jocelyn like being like, you need to be honest with the brother, because I know that was part of the problem
That's
last
true.
season. She's like, you didn't tell him that we did any. Like, I'm not cool with that because they're related. If they weren't related, you're 17, you're in high school, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
But because they're related and they live in the same house, I do think that she should have given that information more upfront.
But Jocelyn, stop with the agenda, like.
Yeah, stop like with the you are a lesbian too, because she just wants a comrade though. She's 17. She wants
it's an emotional support.
she wants a person.
Yeah.
We all want a person.
We all want a person. Okay, I want to know, how do y'all see this whole Ceci and Pedro situation happen? Do we think she stabs him?
No.
No?
No
I
way.
don't think so.
She would miss.
I think she
totally.
missed. Yeah, I
And
think
he
she
would,
misses.
and she's so little, like he can easily grab her and like stab herself with her own hand because she's so small. No way. She didn't do anything.
Do we see her making it to the altar?
I hope not.
I hope not. I hope not. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I don't think so. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think so. Not with like he's very abusive. Like and she doesn't seem like the kind. She's like she's the captain of the squad, right? She's the coach, so she asserts herself in certain ways.
Feisty.
So I don't know that she's gonna make it to the altar. I don't think so. Just because we've seen sort of the fight in her in another context.
And she's tried to step up a little bit before and like.
Well, the
do
fact that she pulled a
everything.
knife on the guy is indicative of the fact that she has.
a matter of time.
You know, it's only a matter of time before she.
He's gonna get revealed.
Yeah.
to
And
be
then
the asshole.
last question is Gina. Do we think Gina is going to come over to Camila's side? Do we think she's going to have to experience something with the stepdad before kind of understing?
Nah, I don't know.
Pure sweet Gina cannot experience something with
I
creepy
hope not.
ice cream truck man. No, I know she loves her
With Mr.
sister.
Softy.
Mr. Oh, gross. Yeah, no, but I think she will, because they've had like little conversations before where they kind of try to like when they come back after they're fighting and kind of chat like in last season. So I think that she'll come around for her sister.
And what are you thinking?
I hope it doesn't happen either. But
It better not
I don't think it
happen.
will
He's
happen.
creepy. I don't want to
Yeah,
see that.
Don't get in the van.
I think this is what I think might happen. I think something not as drastic will happen to her, to the younger sister, that will kind of spark something in her.
He'll
She's
say
like,
something
oh.
nasty
or
like,
say
rub on her.
something,
Right.
or like do. I don't know. I think there
Put
has
her
to
hair
be.
behind her ear.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Well, on that note, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Subscribe down below and leave us a comment too. We're also on iTunes, so subscribe to us on iTunes. Help us get the word out. East Los High is here at AfterBuzz TV. Follow me at DJ Jesse J.
I'm at Stuart Starlet.
I'm at Julian Dujaric.
Till next week, same time, same place. Peace.
Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.